The fog thickened the night, silencing the world and instilling dread as Evelyn navigated the narrow path to the old Whispering Woods. Each cautious step crunched fallen leaves, breaking the heavy silence. Local rumors spoke of a dark creature within those woods, watching with soulless eyes for the unwary. Evelyn had dismissed the stories as mere superstition, relics of a bygone era, but she now felt the weight of her decision like a stone in her stomach. The air was thick with the smell of damp earth and decay, each inhalation filling her with the coldest dread. Flickering shadows danced just beyond the perimeter of her vision, curling and twisting as if alive, taunting her somewhat recklessly triumphant stride. As she ventured deeper, the trees closed in like ancient sentinels, their gnarled branches clawing at her jacket as though whispering warnings. The moonlight barely penetrated the canopy above, casting the ground into twisted patterns of dimness. Every rustle made her heart race, doubt laced through her confidence. She hesitated, the urge to turn back gnawing at her. But her curiosity, once bright, now dulled by fear, propelled her forward. Then she heard it, a sound that curled around her spine like skeletal fingers. A low, guttural growl, echoing from somewhere deep within the woods. It wasn't predictable, like the rustle of animals scuttling through the brush. It felt primal, almost sentient, reverberating through her bones. Evelyn froze, her breath hitching as her instincts screamed for escape. Sweat dripped from her brow, mixing with the cold air. She turned to retrace her steps, but it was then that she noticed the path had shifted, twisted as if the woods were alive, reshaping themselves to keep her in their embrace. Panic clawed at her throat. She was lost. Another growl, closer this time. Swallowing hard, Evelyn squinted into the darkness, where vague silhouettes shifted from the shadows. The presence felt enormous, overwhelming, as if it filled the woods with a weight that pressed down on her chest. Heart thumping painfully, she turned and ran, branches slapping her face like sharp whispers of malice urging her to stay on course. But the woods were merciless, a maze filtered through the fog that enveloped her. Snap! A twig broke behind her, and she dared not look. She ran faster, adrenaline burning through her veins. Her only thought was to escape the monster that pursued her. Suddenly, a cold draft washed over her, chilling her bones. She skidded to a halt, feeling the icy breath of the creature on her neck. It was right behind her, she was sure of it. Summoning every ounce of strength, she turned to confront whatever horror awaited her. And there it was. A mass of shadow and clawed limbs, its glowing red eyes locked on hers with an intensity that sent her heart racing, limbs trembling uncontrollably. It loomed larger than any creature she could comprehend, its very existence a violation of the natural order, defying her understanding of the world. But then, in an inexplicable twist, the creature let out a raspy chuckle, a sound that reverberated through the very marrow of the night. Evelyn's breath caught in her throat as the creature stepped into the moonlight, revealing not just its monstrous form but a twisted countenance of familiar features, far too familiar. "Evelyn," it hissed, voice dripping with mockery. "Did you think you could escape me?" The horror sank in, cold as a grave. It was her face, contorted into sickening laughter, her eyes ablaze with a feral hunger. The monster was her soulmate, a dark mirror reflecting all the fear and malice that once resided within. As reality crashed down around her, Evelyn realized this wasn't just a creature of the woods, it was the manifestation of her own suppressed darkness. And now, it was free, a predator that had claimed the very essence of her soul. With a scream as raw as the terror clawing at her throat, Evelyn felt herself drawn into the monster's embrace, the fog consuming her as it whispered the sinister truth. Fear, once uncontained, had never really lurked in the woods. It had always been within,